Why are African Americans worried about the ancient Egyptians and not ancient people like the Kiffians from the southwest central Sahara of the African humid period is beyond me. Green Saharan populations near Western Africa should be a much more interesting topic, especially since we have a timeline with missing pieces. When it comes to cultures that could have possibly been source populations to early West African polities like ancient Ouagadougou and ancient Tichet. While there are really no publicized sources of the genetic makeup of these Green Saharan Kiffian populations, there are groups of anthropologists in debate about the genetic relations or genetic affinities of these ancient people. Some anthropological sources cluster these Kiffian remains with prehistoric Ibero-Maurusian-like populations or Capsian-like populations because they have mectoid or mecta off-all-like craniometric features. Although I will not deny the fact that they might have possessed an ancient North African component, I will not deny the fact that the ancient Ibero-Maurusian population found in coastal North Africa had at least a quarter of their genetic input from sub-Saharan Africa, showing early genetic diversity that would or should have been considered when discovering the Kiffian fossils. Due to the fact that there are anthropologists saying that these Kiffian remains showed affinities to sub-Saharan craniometric models as well, leads me to believe that maybe this population was sourced from two different populations like Sahelian populations are today, and they may not be as polarized and simple as people like to make things seem. The Sahel region in West Africa is considered the southern fringe of the Sahara, where Tuaregs from the north interact with northern Sudanic-like people from further south due to their vicinity to each other. This may have or may not have caused a newer population to emerge with blended ancestry, giving them a blend of Mediterranean and sub-Saharan African-like features. Like this skull that was discovered from a Kiffian site called Gobero, which displayed the known feature from sub-Saharan populations called prognathy or prognathism in the lower jaw area. Here you can see the obvious prognathy present in the Kiffian skull while being compared to a Shumlaka skull from modern-day Congo. Also, if you take chronology and geography into consideration, the Kiffian culture was said to have thrived at the peak of the African humid period, and it was stationed in western Central Africa around the southern fringe of the Sahara, and they were said to have traveled further south as the Sahara became less resourceful over time. If these Kiffian sites were stationed in modern-day Chad and Niger, and they were also said to have fled from the site during or before a 1,000-year dry period, that would lead me to think where else could they have fled to, other than northern Nigeria, ancient southern Mauritania, southern Morocco, southern Algeria, northern Senegal, central and northern Mali, and other regions within the northernmost fringes of sub-Saharan West Africa, as well as southernmost fringes of northern West Africa. One more thing I would like to add is the fact that anthropologists have said that the body frames of these Kiffian fossils were tall and robust, similar to the features that modern anthropologists give to sub-Saharan Africans, especially if they had a longer limb ratio, which is said to be a tropical African feature, or it could have been a feature that transcends all African variations because of a physically demanding lifestyle competing with big fauna. I understand the anthropologists of this topic are polarized about the ethnic origins of these Kiffian fossils, but I have almost no doubt that these people had mixed ancestry from the north and the northern fringe of the south. They would have been people with sub-Saharan African and northern African features, meaning they might have had facial features that blended with Mediterranean populations, but also had facial features that they received from sub-Saharan populations, as well as robust body plans and tropically elongated limb ratios. Some of them could have looked like this example of Western Ethiopians. Some may have looked strictly North African, and others may have looked strictly sub-Saharan. This Kiffian cultural complex very well could have been occupied by diverse groups of people that evolved and adapted to a way of life that emerged within the confines of the Green Sahara. What do you think were the source populations of the Kiffians? What do you think the Kiffians look like? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more Afri-Culture concepts.